of the world. Welcome to the Mystery Talks podcast. We are all joined here together, group of friends, all masked up. Why? We don't know yet ourselves.
We're not friends.
We're not friends?
We're not friends.
No.
We're not friends.
I guess we're no longer... I have no friends
we
now,
friends?
so I'm just a lonely guy. And joined with these two other guys who I don't know. And what are our names? So I'm Tai Express, Tai Lopez. I'm joined by Guy 1 and Guy 3. Those are their birth names.
Guy two.
Hey, buddy,
Yeah, buddy.
get our names right.
Come on, buddy.
Tai Express. What type of name is that? You want to share to the audience what Tai Express is?
We just start
It's
shitting on him.
food. It's one of my
Yeah.
side hustles. Actually, I started a business. It's called Tai Express, and
I've never heard of
it's
it.
it's all over.
I've never heard
yeah.
of it.
Never.
I've never heard of
You've
it.
never
Nah.
heard of it?
Nah,
Well, you're missing out.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, we didn't hear it, so we don't know what it is. Well,
Yeah. Okay.
But also, we gotta let the audience know why the hell should they listen to us, right? I mean,
That's a good point.
what's so special about us? Does anyone wanna
yeah, I'll go. What are
weigh
some
in on that?
pros?
No, you know what? Shut
We
up.
are-
You know what? Shut the fuck up. I'll go.
Well,
So,
okay.
basically, the reason why you should listen to us is because we are three guys who are very different from each other, and we don't share a lot of opinions.
We're all guys.
I am a guy.
Yeah,
I
we
don't-
identify as men.
Yeah.
He.
Okay.
I do identify as a man, and we're very different, but we share a lot of common interests. So our point of views might not always be the same, but we're all logical and very bright people that you should take advantage of to listen. You
Whoa!
motherfucker!
Take advantage of.
You motherfucker! Listen to this shit.
Well said.
So
Well said.
so we're gonna cut that part out. Probably not. But what I was gonna say, yeah, as a guy 2 said there, we have common interests, but why the hell should people listen to us? I mean, here's one thing: we're all masked up. You don't even know. You can't even see us. So one pro thing I can say about this is that you will never get attached to us. So if something happens to us, then that's better for the viewer. They can just continue with their life. Worry free. So no need to get attached. This is just like an open relationship, but we don't condone open relationships, do we, boys?
Can you say up to that?
mean, thank you, guy too. You piece of shit. You fucking restart.
Fuck! No!
We're not restarting it. We're just
Holy shit! I'll
gonna keep
kill
going,
yourself.
and you're gonna blur that part out. So
Gonna blur it. Oh my!
Wow.
Oh my god, bro!
Well,
Okay,
when it comes to mystery talks,
I need to write that down.
we don't fuck around. We don't fuck around in mystery talks.
Yes,
you know why,
we're all
guys?
very-
I'll tell you why.
Oh
Because
my god.
no one gives a fuck how we look. They care about what we talk about. We got the best topics to talk about. No one's on our
Exactly.
level. And we're all high IQ individuals. So why would
Yes.
you not want to listen to us?
So high.
exactly.
So
And
high.
the first topic, speaking of the first topic that we were gonna get into, is something that no one's ever talked about before, ever on any podcast or live stream or
And-
nothing. We're the
and-
first ones.
And it's a very high IQ subject for us.
True.
Yeah, well
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
said. I agree. Ty, you want to give us a start into what this segment is about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of high IQ, actually more like low IQ. Adam 22. He's our intro for the day. Let's say.
Our
And he's
beloved
a very
Adam
interesting-
22.
Yeah, beloved Adam 22, such an inspiration. What is it so particular about this person that likes to have his very own wife
Of 7 years.
of seven? Wow,
7-year
7 years.
relationship.
Yeah.
Wow.
7 years.
Yeah, I think they were together for 7 years. They're not married for 7 years. I take that back.
So they really must love each other. to be together for 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love each other so much. A matter of fact that yeah, Adam 22 just loves giving around his wife to several men for clout and views online for the pornography industry, and that's a true man
Okay,
right there.
okay. Let me just explain. For people who don't really know what the subject is about, somehow you guys live under a rock or some shit. Basically, Adam
Yeah, tell me.
22 is a influencer who started doing podcasts and it was a big podcast called No Jumper. He would invite rappers and all these motherfuckers, these SoundCloud motherfuckers.
A lot of high quality individuals, would you say? Guy too?
Very, very high quality. It turned out that most of them were just drug abusers and a lot of fights happened.
Oh.
Blah, blah, blah. No Jumper fell off. He started another podcast. I don't know what it's called. It's called like Plug Talk, some shit like that.
Yeah, I
him,
like it.
him, him and his wife would interview a girl, a porn star, like or just like OnlyFans or whatever,
A sex worker.
a
That's
sex
what they
worker.
wanted to
Yeah,
call it.
exactly, a sex worker. Yeah. And
Oh.
then they would interview her, ask her questions, and then fuck the shit out of her. And then
That's a very interesting premise.
yeah, it is. And then it came to the point where somehow they got the idea of, oh, Adam is going around and fucking girls. Why can't Lena, the wife,
Lena.
Lena,
Yes.
why can't she?
Lena the plug.
Yeah, why can't she go do the same thing?
I mean, I think it's a suiting name for her, Lena the plug. I mean, she's definitely the plug for all the men around to be able to use. So it's a suiting name.
Yeah, and now on the
Yeah.
internet, on the comments, everyone is saying, can I be next? So
So let me ask you, why is this bad? Why would it be bad to
Yeah.
show your wife on the camera? Would you guys do that?
well, it is kind of a cock behavior, don't you think? What do you think, Tai Express?
Well, this cuck terminology. I mean, I would just say that's just not a real relationship or a real marriage. Nor I would say that's nothing that a real man would do. Which I think Adam 22 thinks that's what a real man would do. But nothing along the lines, whether you're a religious person or not, that is probably the most, in my opinion, the most disgusting kind of relationship you can have with someone.
Yeah. No, I think so as well.
I agree.
Because you ask yourself, why are you married to her? The whole point is that she's exclusive to you, right?
Exactly. What's the whole point of marriage?
Exactly.
Exactly. If she's just being a hoe,
But
fucking every
some
black guy
might
there
say
is.
it was a money move. They made so much money from this. Like at the same time, they were already rich.
Well, are you gonna sell your wife?
That's the thing. People are calling him a cuck because he had money. It's not like he needed money. He just
Right.
wanted.
So
they just wanted
it's-
more.
So it's a thing about like also having no moral ground or values about
Yeah.
what you find
Exactly, yeah.
exciting, good or bad in life. And I guess for Adam 22, maybe he did want that extra money, but at the same time, maybe he wants attention. Maybe he wants maybe he sold his soul.
Probably.
Maybe yeah, I mean, to do that probably, and also to be proud of it, because doing it already is one thing, and then be like proud of it and praising it and saying like going live on different
Yeah, what is that
streams and
shit,
saying
man?
like, hey, you should bang my actually in one of this I don't know if it was directly on his podcast, but he was talking to the streamer what's his name, Aiden Ross.
Aiden
I
Ross.
believe that's his
Yeah.
name. Aiden Ross. And he was saying, like, almost word for word, if you respect me, you should fuck my wife. That's, like, almost word for word what he said.
Oh, was it the
So imagine that.
was it the one with Andrew Tate? And he was saying, "Oh, Andrew, if ever you're looking to make a few bucks, Lena is looking for another match." And then Andrew Tate just came up and said, I don't know.
I don't know. I think maybe it was a different stream, but I know he was directly on a call with Aiden Ross, and he said to Aiden, like, if you actually respect me, you should fuck my wife or something like that, but something along the lines. So that's the kind of man Adam 22 is.
Yeah. No, that's disgusting. My thing is like, why is he even proud to discuss it and like endorse it? You know what I mean? Like, why would you guys ever think that's a normal thing to do in a relationship, to like endorse your girl being a hoe? Like, what's the difference between that and love?
It depends on the person.
See-
It depends on
see-
the person.
Yeah, but yeah, because everyone has their own perspective about love, and it's all relative. Love is love, and you know it goes a lot deeper than that. But I think there's really only one way that you can look at, you know, true, real love, if through the lens of, like, you know, if you have a moral stand, moral value, if you respect yourself and your partner.
Yeah.
You're doing the opposite of what Adam 22 is doing.
Actually, I have something
So
to add on to
there's
that.
nothing.
If,
Yeah.
Go for it, guy too.
Thank you, guy one. So I don't know if you remember Tai, but there was like a point. I think we were having a conversation. It was me, you, and another guy. And then he believed that a relationship would only work if it was not exclusive, meaning the guy and the girl on the weekends they get to go clubbing or whatever, and they get to like basically just go do like have quick pleasures with other people, and then come back, be with their significant other, and also have more pleasure with them. It was like a way of staying young. That was his whole like mentality, and I personally did not agree with that. That's why I say it depends on the person. Some people, for them, it's just sex, right? I feel like for me, it's way
Right.
more. It's like if you're with one person, you have to be with that person, you know, everything. So
Yeah, and like people who do that, right? There's sort of a characteristic between them. Like when you have people who don't really have that sort of like respect for their body, it kind of shows in like who they are, and yeah, the different perspectives. Like that's why I think the internet is so ridiculed with this thing, because you have people who can see their point, but then you see others, which I think most people like us see it as like disgusting and weird, because that's not really what it is within a relationship. So yeah, a lot of controversy, but hey man, I just personally don't think it's worth the money.
no, exactly.
No, it's not. But also, it's just a thing of the West specifically. A thing of, like, you know, the U.S., Canada, a lot of countries in South America too. It's so normalized
Even Western
now
Europe,
that it's.
Western Europe too.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Western Europe too.
So actually,
It's so normalized.
Yeah, you talked about South America. Did you actually talk about South? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Tai, you
No,
said
I
South
just said
America.
You said South America, right?
Yeah, I said South America because, well, I mean, as including it also part of the,
Exactly.
you know, falling
Well,
Western society.
actually, do you know in South America what they do a lot is they sell drugs, and
Pablo
drugs,
Escobar.
drugs such as steroids and stuff. So talking about steroids, do you guys think Shizzy's natural?
Wow, what an introduction.
Yo,
Do you
that
mind-
was such a smooth, beautiful transition. I almost did not notice that you were gonna transition into that.
Oh my gosh.
we gotta do transitions, boys.
Well, steroids are obviously, performance enhancing, but guy one, tell us who the fuck is Shizzy?
Guy two, you mean? I'm guy two, bro.
Yeah, guy two, whatever, buddy.
So we don't have to talk about Shizzy in general, but steroids. Right now, influencers, a lot of them, you can't tell if they're natty or they're on trend or other steroids. And
Facts.
I personally,
Okay, what is sorry,
Yes.
what actually is trend?
That's the thing. I don't really know, so I can't speak much about of it, but I can say.
So,
Actually, go ahead, guy.
trend.
Go
Let me
ahead.
tell you.
Go ahead, guy one.
So, trend is actually trenbolone. So anything that ends with a ONE is a steroid. Okay, testosterone, all that shit is a steroid. So, motherfuckers who want to take trend, they're basically anabolic steroids. So the shit you want to get bigger, that's what you take. Now, this shit basically makes you big as fuck. Okay, guys, that's the
Okay,
simple
and
thing.
which ones are the ones that are,
That Shizzy's
that would
taking.
make you really, really big, like, just to avoid them? What are the names?
Guy 2, I think you have some experience with that. All right. You don't want to share your personal stash? Ah, fuck. Okay, let me look at my stash real quick. Hold on. Okay.
So we got 2 steroid users in the podcast. Now, personally, I don't think Shizzy
So, Anavar,
is a steroid
don't
user.
take, and don't take Tren. Those 2 big ones are like.
Anvar and Trend, do not take those.
But Shizzy
guys.
is basically, for those who don't know, he's an influencer who started just posting his like gym journey, his working out journey on social media, and he got quite a lot of attraction towards him because his physique is insane.
Absolutely insane.
But
Not like
also,
insane.
he has a very cool backstory in which I respect too, and
Yeah, but he.
I don't think he's I mean, I think he's natty.
Yeah, I think he's a real. He's
I-
real. He doesn't fake shit.
So let's ask: is he natty? Is Shishi natty?
Well,
Guy 1.
wait.
Hi, let's do.
The only thing, I want to say yes. I want to believe he's natty because he seems genuine. He is very real. He's very honest, but his physique is so good that honestly, if ever someone called him, like, told him you're on steroids, it's just a compliment. If he's not on steroids,
It's believable.
If
I'm
he's
not gonna
not,
lie.
if he's not on
With that
steroids, it's the
fucking body.
biggest compliment. You know?
Yeah.
I
'Cause who-
believe
That's one of the best
Shizzy
compliments.
actually he got attacked not too long
Yeah,
ago.
he got stabbed.
Whoa.
Like
What?
yeah, he was stabbed. No.
Yeah, he got stabbed apparently. I literally just watched
No,
a
but
small
you-
documentary about him before this shit, so I know everything.
But also, yeah, because you can see it like in some of his TikToks, like the injury, like the stab wounds.
Yeah, he got
Like
stabbed.
that guy's actually crazy,
But then
God
some.
damn.
in a good way. Like he's, yeah.
But he got stabbed, and then on a live stream afterwards, like someone said, "Are they alive?" And then he said, "They no." Someone said, like, "Are they okay? And what happened to those guys?" And he just said, "Oh, they're alive." Because he apparently fucked them up. So we'll see about that.
Hey man.
I imagine.
Maybe they were just jealous of his physique. You know. Why would he? Why
Yeah,
else
maybe
would
they
he
just
stab,
want
right?
to jump him because he had such an amazing physique.
Maybe. Well, let's look at physically if we can have pictures pulled up. People with steroids generally their traps are way bigger than any other proportions in their body. A lot of Hollywood actors have them, and we're not gonna discuss who, but I'm sure you guys can figure out who takes steroids within the Hollywood industry. Stay tuned for next episodes and we can go over those. And I can also agree with you guys. I don't think Shizzy's on gear. Motherfucker lifts like crazy genetics.
Yeah.
God gifted him. So what
Well,
can you say?
Besides
And he
that,
has a very cool backstory.
yeah, but he didn't get known for his backstory. I think he just got known for his
What is his
physics.
backstory, Ty? Tell me.
Yeah.
Well, very briefly. He has a big family. I think he has 5 total brothers and sisters.
6.
But 6?
I'm just saying numbers. I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, I think it's 5. So I guess including him, it would be 6 in total. But I
you
know
go.
that he mentioned this in one of his TikToks that he was abandoned by his father when he was very young. Like we're talking I don't know, elementary school or something, younger, like very, 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 very young, and
Wow. That's fucked.
apparently he was a very bad man too. Or I'm not sure about that
But no,
actually, if he was a
he
very,
used to
very
be
bad man.
no,
But
he used to be addicted to drugs. He was a drug addict.
Really?
the father or Shizzy?
No, she's actually wait.
Pro-
You're talking about the father's
Hmm.
backstory. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So I know he has like he was talking about how he has this one picture of his dad.
Yeah, if we can
That's like the only picture of his dad also.
pull that up on
And
the screen right now.
one of the reasons also he started yeah, if you can pull it up, or if it's someone can pull it up.
Yeah, I'll put it on. Yeah,
I can't see shit, so I can.
we'll
So
put it on the editing. The editor will put it on the
Sure.
editing.
Yeah.
yeah, our paid editor will do that.
Yeah. We're a very high budget.
Totally not
Um,
abusing the
But
editor.
basically, this picture of his father that he had, I know one of his reasons, which is actually a pretty good reason to start working out. But he started working out and getting crazy big, the best physique possible he can ever achieve. And I guess this picture was to remind him that he can be a better person, or never be a person like his father.
And be bigger than him.
Be bigger than him, of
Because
course.
his father is
Wow.
pretty
Yeah.
massive and very jacked.
Jack Father. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
So that's his origin story.
That's his, yeah.
Wow, a bad dad. Hey man, that's endless motivation. So I'm not advising to tell your dad to leave you, but try to be motivated when you guys work out. That's
It is a good motivator though. I mean, look at Chizzy.
Yeah. But
yeah.
he was also, the way I understood from like the video I watched, he was addicted to like drugs heavily. And he went to rehab, and then when he got back from rehab, that's when he started his lifting
Yeah.
journey, and that's where he like really
Shit.
pushed himself. That's because he had like basically he had nothing to lose. He was just giving up on everything, and then he's like, you know what, fuck this shit. Let me go work out. And that's why his story
that's
makes
what he
sense. Yeah, that's why his story makes sense. So
You know what? I respect that. There's a lot of people on the internet who
Fake shit.
There's a lot of yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys though. Like, there are people who are good and bad, right? And on the internet, it's crazy.
Who are
Our
good
big
in what?
Boy, Logan Paul. He's pretty.
Wait. Hold on. Track back 2 seconds. You said they're good in what?
bad.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure.
What'd you
Okay, continue.
what did you
Ty.
hear? What did you hear, Ty?
I heard they're good in bed. That's what I heard.
How would you know?
I know that's. I'm just saying that's what I heard. I'm not saying like that's what.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm
You
not
like
that I'm
things
thinking.
good in
Like,
bed, huh?
Are you horny, Ty?
no.
Alright.
I mean, I like my bed, but
I'm sorry,
I'm just saying that's what I heard.
I apologize.
Yeah, let's
Love
not
you,
make.
Ty.
Listen, let's not take.
That's too
Let's not go into that
Yeah, okay.
direction. Okay.
Guy one.
Let's,
Just
just rewind and fast forward.
Yeah.
All right. So Logan Paul, our homie,
yeah, Logan Paul.
he has gotten into some controversy this year, and
Which one?
Tai Express has
Which one?
a big, story that he'd like to share. The big one that was earlier this year, guy too, actually, was the Crypto Zoo scam. So
Oh,
Tai
Oh,
Express,
yeah.
tell me what the fuck
Beautiful.
was that?
So Logan Paul, long time ago. Actually, not a long time ago. I don't know exactly when this started.
When the crypto
I
boom
think it wa-
came, right? So what, like 2021?
Actually, not. Well, it was already a crypto boom before that, but I think also it was. I mean, it was trending. I know it was trending. Specifically, it was around after the time where he had invested in these NFTs. NFTs were trending, and that was. I know he invested like hundreds of thousands of dollars in an NFT, and it devalued like crazy. So he lost a lot of money
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
I
know.
saw that. It was like what? He
Um,
bought like 600K and now it's worth like $5.
No, no, it's worth like around. It's still worth in the thousands, but like, from 6 digits to like
Four.
4 or
Congratulations, you played
or
yourself.
3, yeah. Yeah. But basically, him and his team, they wanted to make this project about this cryptocurrency or I think it was a cryptocurrency that was supposed to be based on a blockchain platform. And if you don't know what a blockchain platform is, I mean, blockchain is basically what cryptocurrencies are backed upon, and it is a decentralized system that's peer to peer. Meaning, so for example, if we compare, fiat money or the normal, let's take a U.S. Currency, or actually let's forget about money. Let's just so it's easier to explain. Let's say, for example, an app like a messaging app, okay, that's not decentralized. For example, WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is owned by Meta, Facebook, right? And when you're sending a text message to a person, it doesn't go directly to the person. The text message does get passed through like Meta's like or WhatsApp like database, and from their database, like it's supposed to be encrypted, but that's a lie. From their database then goes to the person, so there is a third party that's involved. So it's not 100% private, or it's not it's hackable basically, because if someone hacks into the database, they can hack into your account or see your messages or whatever. And basically that's what blockchain is. There's no third party, so it's more anonymous. It's more,
It was also
I guess,
it was like an
what were you gonna say?
it was like an NFT project, like, because it was just like you could, well, it was like a game in some way, because it was like eggs that you could hatch.
Yeah,
and
I was just trying to explain really quick, like,
yeah.
blockchain, but yeah, no, I don't know if I guess it was like an NFT project, but yeah, CryptoZoo, he wanted to make this into a game where you have these like virtual eggs that you can hatch, and
Mix and match.
they
Yeah.
would be able to make you money. You can mix and match, and it had this whole ecosystem.
Basically, have you guys ever heard of
and
have you guys ever heard of my singing monsters?
Fuck
yeah,
no.
Okay,
yeah,
that?
I know what it is.
okay, it's an application where you basically get to hatch monsters that sing, and you can mix and match monsters, and if ever you're lucky, you can get these like rare monsters that may
What, like a Justin Bieber monster?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Justin Bieber, Hitler, all these like amazing artists. So basically, it's kind of like that, the
Okay.
principle, and then you get to hatch eggs, and if you're lucky, you get a rare one, and that rare one would be worth more. That was the idea. But then tell
Basically,
us,
he wanted to create a game.
tell us what
where-
happened though. Tell us what happened after, like.
Yeah,
What the hell happened?
yeah. So
though? I thought the game
long
was a
story short, he
success.
just wanted to create a game with a bunch of people. He had developers behind it, and
He had a whole team.
He had a whole team, and a lot of people invested.
A lot.
He hyped it up a lot,
Yeah,
he
but
hyped
what
it
do you
up on his
expect? Like,
podcast.
it's Logan Paul.
of course. And he hyped it up a lot, to the point, where a lot of people had invested a lot of money into it. Like, we're talking a grand total, between all the people, like millions of dollars. Is it millions actually?
For sure, I think so. Yeah.
No, we don't know.
If we can, guy 2, can you fact check that for me? Is it in the 7-figure?
I know Logan Paul personally invested millions within the actual app, so I presume there would be millions as well there.
Anyways, we're talking a lot of money. And,
sorry. I love how
this-
I love how on the internet I searched how much money did CryptoZoo make, and the first our thing, it says, Jake, how much money did Jake Paul make from CryptoZoo? You're mixing the Paul brothers.
What?
Okay, they made
Was Jake Paul involved?
yeah, they made over 6 million. Damn.
God damn. So you're telling me six?
So yeah, it's a
6
total
million?
scam. Basically, he never paid anyone. That crypto zoo basically turned into smoke and dust, and never flourished. Never actually, I think there was like a beta version out where people could start playing around with the egg, and the game was nothing as promised. Like what Logan Paul said, nothing that he said will be able to. You would be able to do. You could do in the actual game, or at least not most of it. But he pretty much, him and his team pretty much abandoned the project because there was some like legal issues going on, and there was he made up a bunch of stuff to kind of try and detach himself from that. And when people caught on and got realized it was a scam, they called him out, and that's when he said, I couldn't actually say anything because I was in like a legal battle, blah blah blah, so I legally couldn't say anything. But
also,
then he started doing these promises
yeah.
about he was gonna pay people back. He never did. That's still going on. And
The thing is also
recently,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I was just gonna say the most recent I know. I think he once again like came out with a statement, like his team, they were gonna start paying back like some of the people
we
that
don't know
were hurt
that.
in the process.
I don't think they got any money back yet, though.
Yeah, not yet. Not as, at least this recording is being done. I don't think so.
Also, this whole like thing was under like no one was really talking about it until this YouTuber called CoffeeZilla started like digging.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Digging deep
You guys should
into.
watch
He was the master detective.
But as much as
Yeah.
I just want to like wrap this thing up. I want to say like if you guys agree or you guys want to talk more about this.
Well, what
we
are
know
you
it's
gonna
a
say?
scam.
Well, I was gonna say like
That's all I know.
100%.
as much as I think CoffeeZilla exposing helped a lot, I don't think that's what Logan meant to do. I don't think he went in the intention of taking people's money and not making a system that works. I think he just got unlucky with whoever he partnered with, and it turned out
Yeah.
actually
True.
one of the guys who he partnered with was the guy who scammed him as well. So I don't.
Right, I think he fucked Logan over, right?
Yeah, it was just because that guy is like a nobody. Logan was the face of it, and that's why he got all the
Yeah.
controversy. And then CoffeeZilla
True.
had also like something against Logan. Like he was really digging a bit too personal in the videos. So
True. But may I just say something?
Yeah.
True. That I think there was also another person involved where he did scam Logan
yeah,
as
exactly.
well,
Yeah.
or lie, or not exactly scam, but lie to about who he was. But here's the thing.
Oh yeah,
Even
yeah, he lied to
that
yeah.
fact may be, Logan Paul still ran away from everything until CoffeeZilla started making statements. And even then, when CoffeeZilla started making statements, Logan Paul lied, said that, he threatened CoffeeZilla first, saying that, everything that he said about it in his video is a lie, and that CryptoZoo is actually still in the works, and everything's going flourishing. And then he got caught in the lie again. CoffeeZilla exposed him again, and as soon as Logan saw that everyone was catching on to his bullshit, then he released an apology
They're on
video.
his ass.
So even though he might not have had that at first intent of like damaging or hurting anyone in the making of this project, but he definitely did try to run away from it, not pay anyone, and he definitely try to mask it or hide it as much as possible, not take any responsibility for his own project. That I can say with at least 90% certainty.
That
I
I
agree.
agree. Yeah, that I agree.
And like, let's be honest, Logan Paul is not a crypto developer. He's an influencer and an entertainer. So like his whole thing is
Exactly.
to focus on that
Yeah.
shit, right? So like he's just a brand. And that's why with Prime, he didn't make the company, but he's just branding it as it's his, right? So it's all about branding at the end of the
And
day.
also, side note, listen, I'm gonna sound like a hater. I don't hate Logan Paul, but
Sounds like you do, bro.
just as a side note, he
Yeah.
he doesn't. I mean, he's not exactly like the best kind of person in general, as how he has presented himself online over the years,
done a lot of shady shit.
with other people, what he's done to other people, especially recently, like the George Janko situation. But yeah, I mean, also with his brother too. Anyways, that's another whole other topic. But
That's true. That
Well,
I just think he's not very mature in terms of the way he expresses himself, especially with like the whole
he doesn't realize.
like. There was one time in the podcast he got an argument with George against religion, and he started kind of like insulting George in a way, saying he's delusional. But he did. I know he like I don't know why, because I've grown up watching him. I kind of understand the way he talks, he thinks. So I don't think he has bad intentions, but he has fucked up a lot of times. So I do agree why in a perspective of if you don't really know him, if you don't really like him, or just see him as the way like his fans do.
yeah, the thing is he's clowned on his co-host a lot.
Yeah, no, that is
a lot of guests.
That is unacceptable. That I'm not like that's why he has fucked up a lot of times, but he's not like a
Well, yeah, it's his character. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
if he does that, then he
just
won't
it's
really
just the
care
way
about
he
what
is.
people think.
But he like imagine growing up in the face of the internet. Like you're gonna all the fucking mistakes you've done, it's public and it's gonna be talked
there.
about forever, right?
Yeah.
So at the same time, it's like yes, he fucked up, but if you were in your shoes, what would you do? You know? Would you have?
If I was in his shoes,
Yeah. Like let's say you have.
I can tell you definitely I would have not scammed $7 million worth of.
Yeah, but okay,
Uh,
imagine you start a fucking company.
I
and
wouldn't
then-
be as careless.
Yeah,
too.
for
I wouldn't
sure.
be as careless. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
know the risks.
Okay.
Like, how the hell do you expect your fans to trust you and give all this money and for you to
Yeah.
not even overlook anything at it and be at least
Yeah.
transparent? You know what I mean? Like, if it was a
Exactly.
genuine mistake,
Perhaps.
he should come out from the bat and be like, yo, my bad. And I think that's the problem with all this crypto scamming and stuff is that, like, there's just so much trust on these followers that, like, the personalities of Logan Paul and stuff, you like them and stuff, but, like, they don't really know what they're doing at sometimes. And
Yeah.
that's why, you know, you gotta be careful.
His personality. Here's one thing. I think he cares too much about his
Image.
his look, his brown, exactly his image. He cares a lot about his image, so he will do anything to protect it, make it stay intact. But I think by now it's just way too damaged, and some his big like hardcore fans, it's come to the point where he's so big now that I don't think there's actually something that would be. It would have to be something so damaging. He would have to do something really messed up that people would actually start turning like against him. Because for other people, like the CryptoZoo scam, if it was like some other influencer, that would have been it. Like
That's true.
career over.
That's true. Yeah.
Then and there.
Yeah, lawsuits
But Logan Paul-
everywhere.
Yeah,
all that
Logan Paul,
stuff.
he's special in that way. He has, that loyal, strong, big fan base. He knows
Yeah.
people in the industry. He's like a golden boy of
Ty,
YouTube
let me
as
ask
well.
you: are you Logan Pauler?
Low gangster.
A Logan.
You're not a Maverick? Was that his old brand?
Maverick for life, boys.
Yeah.
Does he still have? Is he still with that?
Yeah. It's
Does he still?
I think so. Yeah, he definitely gets money off.
well,
it,
it's
so
his
yeah.
it's his company. I think he still like I don't know if he still sells clothes or not. I was this close of ordering a Maverick shirt. I'm glad I didn't. Because I'm telling you, I used to watch this guy
Well-
every fucking day. Like back in high school, that was the shit, man. Like
I'm not gonna lie, I did watch him a lot. I actually, when he first started his podcast, it was probably one of my favorites.
yeah, I the thing is, as much
Because
as
he has that
yeah,
personality.
he has.
And he's a very, very good marketer.
Yeah, he is. That he's good. Yeah.
Exactly. He's
And-
a good marketer.
And
for sure.
and guess what? You know what he has a lot?
What is
What?
he have?
Money. He has a lot of money.
He does
Oh,
have a lot of
you
money.
can't deny
He's
that.
probably, especially with Prime right now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's probably. That's
Well-
another thing. Okay, I don't want to get back into the CryptoZoo thing, but this is just to show
But-
like what kind of person he is. He bragged about how many like I think it was like 40 million in like a month or something. He said
How
that
much
he was
bottles?
making off of Prime, and
Oh yeah.
so the crypto zoo thing is like
So
is
It's nothing
starting to become
towards
like
him.
pocket change for
so
him.
we can
Yeah.
agree he makes a
Yeah,
lot
he
of
can
money.
pay it out.
We can agree he makes a lot of money, right?
He's making
Definitely.
bank.
Yeah. Do you
Way
think?
too much.
Do you think if Logan Paul was born in the 19s, 1990 or 1920, you know, in the 90 in
1900s, you
90s?
mean.
in the 1900s, thank you, in the 19
Not the 90s. That's the end.
Yeah,
We're going
yeah,
early to
yeah.
the fucking
the 19
Yeah, the
the
1900s,
1900s,
early
he would
1900s,
have been making
what
as
about the
much as.
1900s?
19th century.
Let me finish, please. He,
Okay, guys,
do
go.
do you think if he was born in the 90s, I'm sorry.
If he was born in the... Are you retarded, buddy? He
Whoa,
was born in the 1900s.
whoa! Don't use that word, bro.
Yeah, let's not use the R word
Yeah.
in this.
Wait,
We're a
what's-
family-friendly,
Fucking retard.
kid-friendly,
Oh, sorry.
LGBTQ friendly.
We're not.
Yes,
everything-
pansexual friendly. I know.
Okay.
We've discussed
Okay,
this.
okay.
Sorry.
Do
Hi.
you think if he was born in the 900s, he would have made as much money he made now?
Wait,
Well, he would have been
900s
fucking
now?
dead, guy too.
Wait, we're going way
Move
back
on.
now.
Move.
Hold
It's
on.
okay, Ty. It's okay.
Well,
It's okay.
Okay, let me
I
let,
think
let
what
me
you're
let me
asking
say it.
is if he was born back then till the modern technology, comparing money back then, you're asking is it easier to make money then?
Exactly.
Than now?
That's kind of what I meant.
If it was like here's the thing, it's a different time, so he would have been a completely different person too.
Do you think
So it's hard
influencers
to
made
say.
money back then? I mean, like what? Like imagine what a guy like Logan Paul being the Titanic.
Do you think
No, but-
do you think Hitler was an influencer
Well,
in some way?
this whole thing about influencers, like,
Yes, I
that
do
wasn't a
think
thing
Hitler
back.
was an influencer.
If
I mean, he was a
Oh, you think?
leader.
if Hitler had an Instagram, how much followers would he have?
Oh, like
All
6
of-
million?
all of Germany for sure.
I think do you guys think he would have at least like 10 million?
I think
he
6
would've been
million.
banned.
Yeah, but okay, Twitter.
He canceled.
Twitter. He would be okay.
Okay,
think around
Twitter has
6
a different story. He's up there for sure. I think he's one of the top
wait.
followers.
How many followers
Imagine
does
this,
Andrew
like,
Tate have?
I think he'll have more
World
than
War
Kanye.
II, World War II started, and he had tweeted,
I'm coming for you. I'm
past
coming
the
for you.
no,
Jewish-
he puts out a tweet, right, saying past the Jews,
Oh my god.
and people mistook that, and
Let me
I don't know
tell
where
you
I'm going
this.
with this. Sorry.
He's gonna have a lot of viral hits if he goes on Twitter and puts his tweets. That's for sure. He's definitely gonna have a lot of controversy.
But look, like
Yeah, he would have like,
yeah, Andrew
a lot of
Tate.
engagement.
Look, Andrew Tate has
He'll
7.6
get paid a
million
lot.
followers, and he's known
Yeah.
all around the world, right?
globally, yeah.
But Hitler is like different status.
I mean, bro, everyone knows Hitler, bro. He's
Yeah.
he's up there, one of the most famous men in the world.
Yeah.
But let me ask you though, if you were in the 1900s, you don't make money from the internet. You make money from simple, plain, old businesses.
Yeah.
But back then, shit was so cheap.
Well,
True.
but also the value of money was much higher than now.
Yeah.
Like
Well, the
Yeah.
thing is, back then also I don't know when exactly it changed, but I know at some point, for example, the U.S. dollar was backed on actually, yeah, exactly, on gold.
Yes.
Right now it's not backed on anything.
Now it's different.
They
yeah. So
they
I can
just
give you
print
some
out
context
money out
why.
of thin air, and that's why there's so much inflation nowadays. But what'd you say?
I can give you some context tie into how this all started. Okay. So.
Please
money,
do.
The big thing with money in the U.S. Okay, it happened after the Titanic. Now we're not gonna go over what happened to the Titanic, if it was on purpose or not. I'm just saying if it
Inside
was the
job.
most unsinkable ship, how does it sink? That's all I'm gonna say.
conspiracy.
Yeah, inside
So
job.
basically,
Central
yeah.
banks.
Same guys who made COVID.
So, oh, maybe we don't know, but all we're saying is the banks. Okay, so basically the U.S. right? They had what's called the Federal Reserve Bank, and these guys are basically independent of the presidents. They're basically the ones who back the money based on gold, and that was created the year after 1912, which was when the Titanic sunk. And these guys basically owned most mortgages within America. So they had control of America. Okay, these guys have the money, and they are the ones that print the money. So from there on out, that's where the U.S. economy started to base their dollar on gold. But like you said, Ty, now since they want to make even more money, they don't have enough gold. They're like, yo, fuck it, print money. So what is money at the end of the day, guy? Two, tell me.
Today, honestly, it really doesn't mean anything.
It's
Honestly,
kosher
it's
share.
actually it's crazy how. What's that?
No.
It's a what? It's a sharp.
No.
Tell me what your retard thoughts are, bro.
I told you. Censor without word, you fucking fuck one.
Sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to say the R word.
That gets me.
Anyways, so money actually, guys, is made on debt. Okay, so like money is not real. It's basically saying you're gonna owe people something. You take money out of the bank. It's all based on a promise. So banks can print money whenever they want. It's not backed on anything, but we're the ones that have to pay the banks. So basically, money is controlled through the banks, and money runs the world, like we said. Money and pussy.
And that makes us slaves to the government, pretty much.
We are basically getting scammed. You know how Logan Paul scams his fans? We're getting scammed by the government because
And
we
guess
believe
what?
the dollar is real.
Guess what? It's
What?
worse in
What?
socialist countries.
Yes. You think those checks we got during COVID was a lot? Imagine how much those guys got.
I didn't get any check. What did you even talking about?
Those checks for during COVID was
You didn't get
just
any checks, buddy?
hey, we're the good guys.
from
We're
Australia.
giving you some money. Make sure to vote for us when the next election comes.
I'm from Australia. We don't get checks over there, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, you guys are upside down. I forgot.
Fuck you mean, bro?
You guys do it differently there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had concentration camps for COVID.
Oh, that's
Well,
crazy.
your voice doesn't sound Australian, guy. Too. Why the hell do you say you're Australian? Are you?
Yeah, did you immigrated?
Yeah, bro.
You're an immigrant to Australia. Why would you ever immigrate to Australia? Let me ask. What's the pros there? Did you enjoy the lockdowns?
Yeah.
What do you do there? Like you take long walks on the beach with kangaroos or something? Like what do you do there?
Speaking of kangaroos, the reason
Encounter 6-foot spiders on your
speaking of
on your bathroom sink.
speaking of kangaroos, the reason I went there is to be able to box with kangaroos. So that was the main reason.
Box?
Yeah, like I wanted to be.
Box?
I want to.
You want to spar kangaroos? You're assaulting animals.
Yeah, that was my main goal to go to.
And did you box a kangaroo?
Not yet. I'm still fighting. Like I'm going higher. You know. Right now I'm on with the koala status, and then I'm gonna be.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
And then
How do you determine the victory? Are they like dead or how does that work?
well, we have a ref. Yeah.
You mind going into that? Because I think a lot of people are concerned about animal abuse.
No, don't
especially in
worry.
countries
Don't
like
worry. We feed them, and then we toss them back to wherever they were. Or sometimes in a trash can if they're not breeding. But
You don't. No, you don't
so
toss
take care of
them.
everything.
yeah, take care.
You
Bro.
don't toss them. You lightly put them back where they came
Exactly. I send a little kiss and everything. You know what I'm saying?
from. Yeah.
Anyways,
a little good night kiss on the
enough
forehead, and
enough
then
about
they-
me. In your country, whatever country you guys are from, I don't know because I don't know who you guys are, but what do you guys do? Huh?
Yeah.
I'm from Pennsylvania.
What did you have to think about? That's not a country, bro.
Very-
That's not a country.
So you're from the States, buddy.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm actually from no.
Didn't you tell me you're
Specifically.
from Kazakhstan or something?
Oh, that ain't me.
No, maybe that's
I
you.
can't
Guy
share
one.
this.
Guy one. I think that was you, no?
Yeah, fuck yeah. So I'm in Kazakhstan. I live in the mountains, and we love the Russian currency. So make Russia great again.
Okay. Yeah. So, who do you guys think besides the bank control the money, or who controls the banks?
Oh,
Who controls the banks?
I know.
Whoever controls the banks controls the world, and
So
that's it.
you know how banks have like maybe millions, maybe even billions. You know countries like Canada or U.S. right? They're worth based on their GDP. So countries like Canada or like, I don't know, Brazil, they're worth maybe like $2 trillion.
Hmm.
Now the thing is, the people who own the banks, they own everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. So there's this index called the S&P 500, which are the top 500 companies in the world. Okay.
Yeah, Fortune 500.
Fortune 500, and there are these notable two, okay, groups that own 80% of them. 80 fucking percent of them. Okay.
In
Number
terms
one is-
of shareholder.
yes, okay, they say shareholders, but look, listen to how much money they have under assets. Vanguard and BlackRock, okay, they both have each around $10 trillion worth of assets. Now that's basically 5 times Canada's market share, which makes no sense. That's half of they basically own America, because if it's 10 and 10, that's $20 trillion.
Yeah.
So they own the
So-
world. Anything.
Yeah,
that
so
people
what
do,
does
they can
that mean in
remove
general
freely.
for our known structural society system that we know, where there's us, the taxpayers, there's the media, there's the government. Does all that ever mean anything if everything just behind the scenes is controlled by just a very small group of people who are actually running everything behind the scenes, and maybe they have some evil agenda, which anytime they can just by the flip of a switch do whatever they want, set in course whatever plan they want COVID, and they can
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah. Guy 2, what do you think about that? You think they do that, have their evil agenda and do what they want?
Yes.
No explanation, right? Just yes.
Yes.
Well said. Very thoughtful. If you were to ask me though, like why they do this, well, this is just the structure. There's always been a hierarchy when it comes to money. Like back in the
Yeah.
1900s, it was probably a few guys. We could talk about that later, but their influence is so big. They can remove any CEO they want. They can have any political or agendas, like you said, and you were coughing. We're not going to describe what that coughing and COVID have with correlation to this, but just know that money is something you really got to look at, and who owns it and how it's made. All these things you guys should be thinking about. And now in the modern day, though, I think money is really easy to make, because it's all being printed out of nowhere, and you got to put yourself in the right spots, right? But
Correct.
we can move on with this and talk about, what if you commit a fucking crime, okay? How the
Another
fuck
beautiful transition.
do people,
Well, actually, wait.
if they get caught and go to jail?
I have a better transition, if you don't mind.
Tell
What
me the transition.
what happens when you don't pay your taxes that the government gives you?
You
Well, a lot of
go
people
to
do that.
jail.
There you go. You go to straight to jail, which is a
You go to
crime.
jail.
Go on,
Straight to
Exactly.
jail.
guy one.
Now,
Go on.
thank you, Guy 2. So this motherfucker interrupted me, but basically, we're talking about jail. Survival in jail, okay? What do people do in jail? Like, let me ask you guys.
They fuck
When you're in jail,
themselves.
how do you survive? What type of thoughts do you have? You're in a fucking dungeon, especially
Now,
if it's like, a high
Here's
level.
the thing.
You need to
jail
become gay,
in
bro.
America.
Yeah, here's the thing. There's definitely levels, and there's definitely levels, and
Or a bisexual.
depending where you are, which country you're in, certain jails, prisons are because jail and prison are two different things. Like you can go to like the
Okay, let's talk about prison.
let's say prison specifically, when you're doing a prison time, and let's say you're sent to like a medium security prison, and let's say it's Canada. So things are not gonna be so fucked up in the grand scheme of things, and the reason I say this is because if you compare that to, let's say, a prison in buttfuck nowhere, chartered island, Mexico, or very notably high crime places where drug lords tend to run everything, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in big trouble, because there's no really like when it comes to actual security, the guards don't give a fuck about you, and the guards are paid off, and and I can say I
Have you been
kind
to
of
jail?
no.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna speak from experience, but I will speak from other people's experience that have maybe shared a word or two with me of how it is in those kind of places, and they have their own economy in these
Yeah,
prisons.
exactly.
Like let's say let's say we're talking about, again, Mexico, for example,
Money, baby.
relatively big country, uh, but fucked up in terms of
Yeah, a lot of crimes.
crime and
Oh yeah, I think
yeah,
it's like the
drug
most
cartels and everything.
highest crime city is in Mexico, in Tijuana. Most murders per 100,000 is in Tijuana. You can fact check that.
Yeah,
guy, too.
it's very, 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 very bad over
Let me
there.
check that. Let me check
But if
But yeah, you
you're
were saying
ever
in
sent
Mexico.
to prison in the prison in Mexico, it's gonna come down to life or death, really, because a lot of
Oh.
these prisons are like zoos.
that.
So you might not even have like an actual cell. You're just thrown into like a graveyard, and there's no security. Guards are always on the outside of the, let's say, the fence, and when you're thrown into this, wasteland society prison,
Yeah.
where it seems like you're entering like a new world, and it has its own economy
Oh,
and society and everything, and when you're this, you're looked at as fresh meat, right? I think this is common with most prisons, but
Yeah, when there's
you're the
new
fresh meat of the
people,
block, and
God damn, they have their
everything
own
that you do,
ecosystem
how you
there.
look, and everything. And if people, actually, most probably, when you're thrown into these prisons,
Yeah.
the let's say the leader, right, the guy who runs the place will probably already know everything about you, which so that's one thing.
Facts.
And when they know everything about you, they will already know how to bitch on you, how to make you their bitch.
Yeah.
If you're even worth it, if there's anything that they can get from you or take out of you, they will do so in an instant, and you won't be able to do anything about it. No guard is coming to save you.
Yeah, there's no restrictions, right? Like it's its own, like you said, zoo. It's wild.
No, it
So
literally a zoo. I mean, you can find videos of
a lot of people go
people
crazy.
just-
I think when they're there.
there's like some crazy live leaks of these Mexican prisons where it's just people getting like machete down, like
God damn.
killed every day, like and some of these prisoners, some of these guys that commit these atrocities, like, and I don't want to get too graphic, but I've seen like some of these videos, and it's like they have no soul inside. Like it's like they're having fun. They like start cutting you up. They're like getting to work. Anyways, I don't want to get too detailed, but it's crazy. Let me tell you.
So
Like
they
I'd much
commit
rather be
crimes within
in a high
crime center.
Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather, let's say, if they throw me in prison, it better be like in a first world country.
No Mexico, please.
You don't want to go to prison in a third world country,
Oh man.
especially Mexico.
Apparently.
Imagine living there and then going to jail there.
Well, also, going back to the most dangerous cities, actually, it's not in Mexico, it's in Venezuela. And then it's Brazil. 3 cities in Brazil, which one of them is Rio, is apparently very dangerous. So,
Don't go nowhere near the slums.
Mexico is not even on the top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Really. I see. Oh, I think your shit's wrong actually. Cause Mexico is definitely up there in murder rates by country. Mexico, I see here is 4th.
Okay.
According to this website. But the number 1 actually, well, this makes
What's the
Wow.
website?
Caracas. What's number 1?
Statistica.
What's number 1?
El Salvador, right? Is
Oh,
that the one you have?
no, I have Venezuela. Caracas. Caracas.
Okay. Well, anywhere there in the south, there's
Yeah.
a lot of fucking murderers.
Yeah, South Americans are crazy, man. They're so crazy.
It is.
Yeah,
But
I can't.
my question is, like, if you had a normal person and they're in jail. What sort of psychological effects? Like, let's say
Well,
guy 2 gets thrown to prison. What type of fucked up shit happens?
I,
Can you go crazy in jail?
I think actually Andrew Tate.
Actually, maybe one of the things that, as a self-defense mechanism, is turn yourself into a literal animal. Like, as if you're literally thrown into the jungle and no human laws apply. Everything goes. If you don't want to be like someone's dinner or someone's bitch,
But that's like
you might as well turn yourself into an animal.
But that's like in the jails you were talking about, like on third world countries. In like other countries,
Yeah.
it's like you're just thrown into like a room, sometimes with other people, sometimes just alone, and you have you're literally treated like a dog. You have a schedule. At this time you eat. This is what you eat. At this time you get to go to the bathroom. At this time you wake up. At this time you basically they tell you what to do exactly. And
Yeah.
one of the things Andrew Tate said on his podcast, which was interesting, was what makes you go crazy in jail is like on a day we have like thousands of thoughts, right? And sometimes it's our thoughts are questions, right? We just had a question: what's the most dangerous city? We search it up. When you're in jail, you can't do that shit. So that thought is always gonna stay in your mind. It's gonna make you go crazy.
Ah, yes.
It's gonna go
Right.
and then you're gonna be stuck on that thought because you're not gonna have an answer, and you have no one else to talk to. Or
And the problem with that is that we're programmed in a way today that, you know, we've this instant gratification that we're used to, and it's one day is just all taken away. We don't have everything at our fingertips. Our mind, our brain, we don't understand that. So as you're saying, yeah, we have these thoughts in our head, and we can't like Google, like we can't do our 1 minute Google search,
Yeah,
or we can't
that
like
instant gratification that like we're so used to.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, let me pull out my phone, but no, they don't have a phone.
no, you don't have that shit.
yeah,
You have
no
a scary
phone, no
Black prisoner
electronics,
behind
no.
you, but they kill you.
Yeah, maybe it's just a like a 4x4, you know. It's like this squared cell looking at the same walls day and night.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that's
sometimes
your
no-
gratification, staring at the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes no daylight.
That's when you're
If you're lucky enough, you're in a cell that has daylight.
That's when your mental really kicks in. Like that's when you have to really be fucking strong mentally to be able to control yourself.
Yeah,
have to
if
be a
you're
stoic.
weak-minded and going
If
into
you're
jail, you're
weak-minded,
not gonna survive.
You're gonna be
You're crumbling.
yeah. You're gonna crumble. You're gonna become crazy. Like there's
You have a strong mind.
so many people went to jail, got crazy, but the media or no one
Yeah.
talks about it, right? These guys went fucking crazy. They came out of jail. First thing they did is like go on a rampage and kill people. Why? Because they just
Yeah, they couldn't function in normal
No.
society because
Yeah.
like what they were living in prison was just way different than. That's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that like the life in prison is not even close, especially for most jails, not even close to what the normal living is for most societies, like third world, first world, because like you said, there's no rules and these like changes in like structure with instant gratification and all of this that can definitely make you go crazy. So like if you were to ask me, like you're definitely going crazy. So I'm gonna ask like, what are some ways to combat being crazy? Do you just become literally just like a full retard like guy 2 or what?
why are you asking?
So,
Do you think is it
What
because
did
I'm
people
retarded?
do back in the day to keep themselves
I
occupied?
think you would survive
what did
pretty
the,
well.
What did the Stoics do back in the day when they had nothing else but just their thoughts, just their own
kidding.
thoughts getting recycled on their
But
brain? They had
Ty,
they didn't
Ty,
even
Ty.
they didn't even have like a pen or book
Ty,
to
Ty.
write on.
Ty,
They
wait.
had like
Ty.
what?
Imagine
what,
if those Stoics were in our generation nowadays. There's way more distractions nowadays. Like it's easier, it's hard, it's been easier than ever
Yeah,
to
I
communicate.
think the Stoics would.
it's
Yeah,
it's been
would be
easy, like
stuck on Instagram
I
Reels.
think
but it's been like
if
easier than ever
let's-
to talk to people, but at the same time it's harder than ever to talk to people. To like not talk, but to like
Yo, that's a good point.
it's easier than ever to talk to people, but it's the hardest to like basically bond with people because no one
Right,
like
it's easy to reach out but hard to connect.
it's easy to talk to but hard to communicate.
Yeah,
that too, yeah. So
facts.
And so, yeah, I mean, I guess let's say if we were to take, I don't know, let's say one of the Roman emperors like Marcus Aurelius or something.
Yeah.
In today's day and age, if it's hard to say, but looking at the world today from how different it was back then, it would look like a complete. Well, obviously it's a completely different world, but I think it would look very corrupt. It would look very damaged.
Yeah.
A lot of there's one of the main things I think is also the whole architecture, right? So there's all these skyscrapers now, big buildings everywhere, huge cities. Obviously, you can get lost about how much there is, how long they expand, for how many kilometers you can go, and there's, it's a whole metropolis. So there's not a landscape to look at. There's no paysage. There's no there's no mountains in the distance. There, you can't look at this. You can't hear the sea flow nearby because of the noise pollution and everything. The cars, the people, the construction, everything. So
there's just so much.
I think it's so much of the opposite that maybe someone like Marcus Aurelius, for example, would go crazy in today's day and age of how just different in that aspect it is, even though they're these are strong, recognizable, mentally strong people. But yeah, if I'm trying to put myself in like the shoes of someone from back then going into today, it would look so ugly. I think it would look so ugly. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guy 2, any thoughts on that?
Yes.
They are?
Yes.
Come on, retard. Are you retarded?
Yes.
I'll just say one last thing, actually. There's, obviously, I spoke about the architecture, but back then, everything was so beautiful.
It was peaceful.
Oh, I 100% agree.
People, yeah, that peaceful.
Although there
in
was
the
more
sense
wars, it was more beautiful.
Well, also, people were less aware. Like nowadays, I bet you people that live, let's say, in Romania, or no, people, what is it called? The First Nations that live in
Romania.
The First Nations that lived in America, okay, were not aware of the war that was going in like Europe, right? They didn't give a shit. Not that they gave a shit. They just didn't know. Nowadays, we know everything, or we know most things, right? We don't know everything because media and shit hides a lot, but
there's a lot of value in that too. I think there's a lot of
it was more peaceful
value in that too,
way.
Because let's say, so that example that you took, a war that's going on in a completely different place where your people, your country don't know, maybe only like the leader, the emperor or the king knows, because they obviously the hierarchy in that time, they have to be aware of what goes on in the world still, especially like in those times, they know in terms of a war, let's say, like they have to be aware of their surroundings, what's coming their way or what's happening around the world, if they want to grow, expand, market, everything. So maybe like only the big leaders did know what went on, but there's also a lot of value in how that information is acted upon, because it's not something that is instant. So for example, if there was something going on in the East that was transferred to the West, maybe it was a message written on paper that traveled first through horse, then by boat, then I don't know, maybe like one of those messenger birds, and it took like maybe months to get like a message through. There's a lot of value in that, because of how different it is today. You send a message to someone in China, it's instant.
Yeah.
There's no
pigeons. There's no.
Yeah, there's no pigeons. But
you ever think those pigeons actually work, or like they just?
It's a total different reaction. I mean,
That's the thing. I don't
total
know.
different reaction.
Yeah, but
And
what happened if the pigeon dies and it was like a really, really important letter?
Important message.
Yeah, like,
I mean, that's probably happened. That's
Yeah.
probably happened.
the pigeon just
It's like,
forgets.
oh,
That's,
shit.
that's for us, bad connection, message didn't go through. But we can resend it.
We're
Yeah,
Or we can
exactly.
just get a
we'll
good
get a
connection.
notification saying failed to send.
Oh.
Those guys have no idea.
we're pigeons.
So there's real value in okay, so that's where I was trying to go at. There's real value in the information that was being exchanged
Yeah.
or portrayed onto the world, or
Because there was no
the
point
information.
of like lying. There was no point of like
Yeah.
basically exaggerating or just saying nonsense, because nothing would happen. So they had to like basically, like you said, like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna declare war against you, or like, oh, give me my money back. I give you this shit. I don't know what they were
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Well, I have a thing that this is an interesting point. You know how like on text sometimes you can like misinterpret what they're saying and shit. Like, you think people read
Yeah.
a message from a pigeon and they'll be like, "Yo, wait, what is he talking about?"
It happened once. It happened once. There was a comma that was missing in like a letter, about like, oh, instead of like, I don't know exactly what it was. I'm gonna say not bullshit, but someone correct me. But it was like a letter and there was a comma missing, and it missed in like the basically, since there was a comma missing, it meant let's go to war. I'm gonna declare war. But the guy wanted to say no, like, let's not do this comma, because it would cause war. Okay. And then of like a
That's
small
tough.
Wow.
a war started like that, like a small battle, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's one way to fuck up your city.
That's the importance of how valuable the exchange of information was back then.
And and it's about being honest.
Because now you can easily correct it.
And it's about being honest and
Yeah.
about being real. Something steroid users are not. So.
Yes. Yes.
So imagine like, and again, back to the
Good
value
transition,
thing.
guy, too.
Just by picking up that piece of quill and type of ink or paint that you had to use back then and put it on paper, you had to make so very sure not to fuck up, and it was probably like a hassle because it had to be also written in like a perfect manuscript.
Yeah.
And
you cannot make a fucking typo.
No.
yeah, so
And
there is people designated for that, and
exactly. And
obviously, like, if you were in like a hierarchy, like kings, they were taught from boys, they how to read and write, and they had like this special education to go through, and not everyone had access to, and only certain people could learn to read or paint or write.
And basically, they would write with like, basically, like you said, like ink, oil, and now they inject oils in their arms. Let's talk about steroids.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's talk about
Did
the
we not
real
talk
deal
about
on
steroids?
steroids.
Yeah, I think actually I was gonna say we already talked about this. Let's skip this one.
Yeah, we
Let's talk about AI.
Okay,
I
the
think
thing
we
is,
went
let's
through-
talk about one thing about steroids.
Okay, go ahead, guy one.
Roid rage is a real thing. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, let's talk about this. If you take steroids, what are the bad side effects? Okay, your balls shrink and like you get roid rage, but is it really, that bad? What do you guys think?
I think any side effect is bad, especially when you're basically cheating.
What if?
Oh, come on.
What
man.
if
You're
your
big.
balls are already so small and penis so small? Does it get even smaller?
Well, okay.
balls
Actually, you know what? These are like small side effects, right? They won't really alternate the way you live, right? I would say more.
Do they?
Well, okay.
Well, they could. They could.
that's-
You
but
could
that-
get like enlarged organs and mess you
yeah.
up.
And remember there was an influencer like that died recently.
Yeah.
He was everywhere.
Yeah, Joe Aesthetics.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Joe Aesthetics, exactly. He was
That guy was popping, man.
he was not natural, and he was very open about it. He was on steroids, and he died like of a heart problem or something like that. Or no, it was a blood.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
No, it was like
something with the steroid
yeah,
effects.
something blew up in his body, right? And
Yeah.
that's I don't know, but I think it's mostly caused by steroids. So I would say like
he definitely.
whenever steroids start affecting your health, that's when the problem occurs. Like, who gives a fuck
Yeah.
about like, oh, he gets acne, oh, he gets he becomes angry. You know what? You can control that shit, okay? But when one thing you can't control is fucking a blood vessel popping and you die.
Yeah, you ain't controlling that shit.
You don't
That shit's
control that
controlling
shit.
you.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So, don't mess with steroids, boys and gals. We obviously know
Guy
that,
know.
and that's why Shizzy probably does not take steroids, because he knows that shit's bad.
Exactly.
So,
And he's not very.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not very like. He's calm. He's not aggressive.
yeah,
He
yeah.
could
Let's
be.
talk about this,
He
right?
could be. He could be if he wanted, but he's. I don't
He
think
could be
yeah.
if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But look, like, we're in the modern age, right? And a lot of these modern influencers focus a lot on, like, branding out and stuff. But one thing that's recently been popping up is AI, okay? And I wanted to actually introduce AI in a hypothetical scenario. Okay, we'll end off this awesome, fascinating podcast topic on this idea. Now, we have AI, okay? Motherfuckers are using it for everything, from money to fake people. Yeah, you can even do some retarded things with your hands, impersonating people. But one thing that can happen is making an AI into a human. So, like, actions of a human, an AI can replicate. And now, if you make an AI in a human form, okay, let's talk about this. All right, the question of the podcast: if an AI human commits a crime, should it go to jail?
What do you think, Ty?
Tai Lopez.
Well,
Tai Express.
that's looking at very maybe very far into the future, but also maybe not that far. But also it depends. Like, by the time there is maybe a robot AI that is like not necessarily conscious, but it can fully work
like
on
an
its
AI
own.
is
it
just
can
a human.
it
Yeah,
can
like,
talk,
it's in a body and it functions
can
in
talk,
society.
walk, respond, and just act within society.
Like, dude, they have those sex dolls, right?
If it's
what if it's just
if
a
it's
human?
just on a level that's being tested, and let's say there's like a beta version that like escapes the robotics lab, and I don't know, it goes like crazy. Like, I think actually there's a movie that's similar to what I'm describing right now, but if it were to commit that crime, I don't think anything would happen. It would just be like a lawsuit on that company, maybe, or it would just be, there would be some backlash on whoever created that.
But hey,
if
a
it were
crime
like
is a crime. No
exactly,
one can be above the law. So does he go to jail?
I don't think so. Unless, are we talking, if this hypothetical scenario, if we were to modify it a little bit, or I guess add on to it a little bit, if it were on a level where it, for example, the movie I, Robot. Have you guys seen that movie with Will Smith?
Yeah.
No.
So
I think so.
So robots are normal in society. They live with humans. They actually help humans. They serve humans, actually, to be specific.
Whoa.
If it's like that,
Awesome.
if it's on that sort of level where they're just part of society, I think in a robot commits a crime.
Now, do we just say bad boy and that's it? Like, hit him in the head and say bad boy?
Maybe they just remove the batteries or something, or they they don't charge him anymore. But
well, yeah.
I think jail. I don't know if it would apply the same to robots. AI.
Would AI go crazy in jail?
No, wait. But wait, why would you put an AI to jail? The whole purpose of jail is basically to show you, okay, you did something bad, you did something illegal, you can't do this shit. An AI, you can just program it, or if ever
so you want to reprogram it. So humans and AI are different.
Or you just like turn it off if it's like defunctional. It's like gone bad. You just.
Here's the thing, unless this AI robot is actually conscious, has emotions, has its own thoughts, and it can distinguish good and bad. It knows from good and evil. It has a moral ground.
Well,
then that's complete. It's basically human,
but
in just a robotic body.
The day that happens is the day the human like species will basically become extinct.
Cease to exist.
They will be exist. We're gonna be extinct.
It's either gonna be the next step in the evolution of
we're gonna
humans,
go extinct, bro.
Or the downfall.
We're gonna go
humans.
instinctive.
No, we're gonna go extinct. Like, they're gonna get rid all of us, all
But
of us, bro.
the thing is, what if we become AI? What if we are the humans that the AI come into?
Like, basically, oh, you mean like we reproduce with AIs and eventually we become AIs?
Wait, whoa.
Whoa, fucking AIs. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Well, the whole
Where do I order one?
the whole idea is, like reprogramming for a human is different than an AI. So like the people who are gonna make the AI, like you said, they're gonna follow a standard. So like I don't think at any point the AI will be uncontrollable to where like because humans they don't really have like a physical barrier when it comes to doing things, right? Like people do. It's a free country. Do what the fuck you want. Sometimes you end up in jail. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get caught. You know what I'm saying? But if possible, like, could there be sort of like a jail kind of like detention for AI, and like how would that work?
I don't know. I think it would be a completely new system, maybe redefined or, so they create a program or system, or an establishment, whatever you want to call it, that is specific to these robots, that will
very mysterious.
That will. There will be like a standard for this. There will be some sort of a policing authority for these robots specifically. Maybe there's like a new special unit of the defense line for this kind of threat if it ever happens.
So we can basically agree. Well, actually, would you guys want that in an ideal world, to basically live with AI?
I personally would not.
Unfortunately,
what about you guys?
I don't think we get to choose, bro. I'm not gonna lie with you.
Okay. I get that. But if ever you do, would you?
Hell no.
You. Okay.
I do not want AI.
I would honestly go back to the times where just technology was not a thing.
Yeah.
You see, that's the thing, right? Would you really though? Like, there's no Google. You can't talk to anyone.
Like, if ever
you're just gonna be a farmer.
If there was no technology, we would have never met.
Honestly,
we would have never.
I would be a farmer today.
We would have never met.
Yeah, but again, there is so much value added onto all of this. Meeting people, connecting with people, having conversations day to day.
Connection,
have so much more value. Connection. It's much more organic.
But that's because we have the same.
When you meet a girl, let's say for example, when you meet a woman and you like this woman, and maybe it's the woman of your dreams, and back then there's no technology, no phones, no modern way of transportation.
Yeah, your ass is walking.
Wait. Listen, you fall in love with this woman, and maybe you see her once, you have a conversation with her once, you're gonna remember that, it's gonna be organic, and then you never see her again. Imagine how real that is, because that woman's gonna be stuck in your head. You can't go on Instagram and look at her pictures. You can't call her. You can't.
Yeah,
that's
good.
That's
a good point.
Reach
that's
back
perfect.
to her.
That's perfect.
I would love.
Like that's.
So.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like right now, the reason why we are together is because we have the same interests and same goals, right? And we have brains, so like we can communicate with each other. Most people don't have that thing. They just.
Yeah, most people don't have brains. You're right.
Yeah, most people
That's
don't.
the problem, right? Like as nice as it sounds now with capabilities in the modern day and age, and how we have so much things to help advance, like things that we think of problems that we can actually solve, but it's just probably so overwhelming for people. Like they don't understand the difference that what people had before versus now. It just makes it so hard.
But connections are meaningless.
Connections
are fucking meaningless.
I just want to add on to this because
What's up, Tai?
Yeah, it's gonna be inevitable probably the time where we coexist with robots and everything. The problem is the people behind it, the people working, creating these things, the people behind it, the people in power. That's really gonna be the turning point, the decisive, what our future would look like, whether it's good or bad, it's gonna come down to the people in power. Yeah, I mean,
Ultimately, yeah, we're relaying their agendas, right? And that's the whole idea with
ex-
hierarchies.
exactly. We're just peons in this in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
cannot really control, make a decision. We can only react to what we are, you know, placed upon. We can only try to maybe defend what is our own, but we cannot put things into action. We cannot do something of greater power that will impact, that will have a huge impact on society. We can only sit and wait, and we can only react to what the world hands out to us. And as all good things come to an end, I think so is this topic and maybe conversation and podcast. So guys, why don't we just wrap it up? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap for today's episode.
Do you guys have any last add-on comments, thoughts?
Well, I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the topics we had and that we explored. And I hope that
I enjoyed it. I think it was interesting, and we definitely got to make an episode 2.
yes, and
I agree. I think there's a lot of information
I just
from
want to
these
say,
topics.
I don't give a fuck. You watch this shit, you don't. We're gonna make more, and you choose to basically.
Translation: please keep watching. Please bring all your friends, family to
Please.
watch this right now. We want all your money. Subscribe, like,
10
comment,
10 likes, 10,
Patreon us. Send me your V-Bucks and
10,
yeah.
10 likes, and I'll do a face review.
Well said. Oh, we need 10 likes. You heard that,
yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
So,
1 like and I'll quit my 9-to-5 job.
oh,
mm,
that's tough. Give me 5 likes and I'll change my mask. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this.
give me 5
I
more
think we can
likes,
wrap it up.
and I'll say bye.
All right. So, Mystery Talks coming to an end.
Peace out.
Any last words?
No, go fuck yourself.
Until the next time.